I'm Piers, Linney, and this is Scale Up. So I'm here at Nesta, the offices of Nesta in central London, on Embankment with a view of the river, which you can't see. I'm in one of the meeting rooms, and I'm a trustee of Nesta. It's an innovation foundation. It's got a £450 million endowment, and it does lots of great things, but I'm being here today for a meeting for the Challenge Prize. It's now called Nesta Challenges. And this is something really interesting. So, usually throughout time, innovations come through the profit motive, necessity. So war, for a good example. That's why radar was invented rather quickly, and then nuclear power, nuclear weapons was the driver of that. But there's lots of innovation needs to happen, which doesn't happen when it really needs to, because there isn't the profit motive. There isn't actual extreme necessity. So the resources required, or the sort of brain power required, isn't focused on those issues. A good example is in the pharma industry. It costs billions of pounds to create new drugs, and if the opportunity is not there to recoup that investment, then they may not be interested. Now, at the same time, there may be an issue facing mankind that actually does need sort of creativity, focus on it, human creativity. And a good example is microbial resistance. So you may or may not know that bugs these days, they're becoming more resistant to things like penicillin. And what people don't fully understand is if drugs don't work anymore, then there's a huge issue in terms of health globally. Things like quite basic operations will be impossible, and it could mean the deaths of millions, if not billions, of people. And one of the issues is that people, they're sort of taking antibiotics like there's no tomorrow when they have a viral infection. One way of reducing the number of antibiotics used is to have a test. So can you test quickly, simply, and also, which is very important, cheaply, whether the infection's a viral infection or a microbial infection? If it's the former, a viral infection, there's no point in prescribing or using antibiotics. So it takes them out of the system. This is an innovation methodology, and it doesn't rely on the market, so to speak, or grant-giving foundations to provide the capital. And the great thing about challenge prizes is that they can be £1 million, dollars, it can be far more than that. Is that it allows almost anybody to have a go. It allows innovation and creativity to come from anywhere. It doesn't have to come from the usual sources. So you can be a garage inventor and come up with the answer to microbial resistance, or at least a test for it. And that's called the Longitude Prize. It's quite a big prize. Back in the day, that came from the Longitude Prize, which was a prize to design an accurate timekeeping piece that could be used on ships. So they needed time so they could navigate using the heavens. And that was solved by an inventor, essentially, not somebody who you would have expected to invent it. So challenge prizes it's a way of bringing about innovation at times and in places where it isn't happening in the usual ways. And this can be governments, it can be corporates, it can be innovation foundations, lots of reasons for people to fund these prizes. But it's a very interesting methodology. I'm going to put a link below this video, so if you want to find out more, go and have a look. And perhaps you could use in your organisation. Could be a very small thing, could be a holiday or some kind of bonus. Somebody come up with ideas. And if your organisation has a problem that needs solving and you don't have the resources, the manpower, or if you're especially a big organisation, you have a problem that needs solving, and the economics or the creative minds aren't cracking it, perhaps look externally by funding a challenge prize. And there's a methodology, is the way of doing these, which is quite new. And Nesta is becoming one of the leaders, or Nesta Challenges is becoming one of the leaders in actually providing that framework, that support to design the prizes, but also then run them as well, because it can be quite complicated. They can involve lots of scientists coming up with various ideas, need to be tested to see whether or not they've satisfied the criteria to win the prize. And the key thing is that innovation and creativity is key to advancement, whether it's in business or whether it's for mankind generally. This is just one exciting new way to drive that innovation and for creativity to take place by providing a new innovative incentive.